Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here, friends. US stock index futures are steady, near record highs this morning, as Wall Street digests a wave of corporate earnings and looks ahead to key policy moves by Federal Reserve and the European Central Bank later this week. Optimism remains elevated after US-China officials described recent trade talks as constructive, ahead of a much-watched Trump-Xi summit, helping push all three major indices to fresh highs in yesterday's session. In terms of corporate focus, I'd say that there is some bad news and some good news. Alphabet, Microsoft, and Amazon are all reporting results this week. They could prove to be a catalyst. Traders are bracing for potentially market-moving headlines as big cap tech stock earnings roll in. The bad news part is the layoffs. Amazon plans to lay off up to 30,000 corporate jobs to rebalance staffing after last year's peak pandemic hiring. This would be approximately 4% of their workforce, and this is not going to be the end. It's going to continue throughout going forward. And this is one of the largest US corporate layoff announcement in 2025. And I would probably expect a tweet from Trump on this if this becomes a hot potato topic. And overnight, OPEC has spoken about output plans, and those are impacting oil. Oil has dipped 2% so far. Trade optimism is also helping a little bit for the global sentiment. Gold has continued its post-peak pullback, and I think that this is just a pause before it goes up further. I'll talk about that when we do our TradingView analysis of gold chart. And US average mortgage rates have held steadily just above 6.5% for 30-year loans as bond yields remain stable ahead of the Fed's decision. Asian and European markets were mixed as traders watched for Trump-Xi meeting and awaited US and European rate moves. European markets paused after a stretch of gains. And among the notable pre-market gainers were biotech and merger news names, while several small cap posted sharp pre-market losses after earnings or guidance updates. So this is the backdrop under which we are starting the day. And whatever I speak to you in the morning is what I register from all the news articles that I see. And of course, we do our pre-market live stream way early. We do it at around 8 o'clock, which means the news that I gather starts to happen around 7 o'clock. But one of the trends that I noticed for today, and about which I'm making a video going forward later today, is the fact that a lot of companies are now attributing layoffs to AI. And there's also news that small companies are being left behind due to this AI rush. So I'm talking about all of that in a separate video, which is again going to be once again emphasizing how the governments have not yet been able to get their heads around to handle this problem of income redistribution, which is very crucial for our civilization as a whole. That said, let's turn our attention to the TradingView platform. So here we are in our TradingView platform, looking at the S&P 500 futures, and you would see that there is this minor red line. This is what yesterday's green candle looked like in the pre-market session. It was a huge gap up, and today it's not such a huge gap up, but it's a very thin range of trading out here. And pre-market, we are up mildly 0.07%. When I was writing my script for today, we were in the negative, mildly negative at minus 0.1% or something in that vicinity. And we are seeing that the market sentiment is bullish now thanks to the China US stocks. And also we are having a whole lot of bullishness in the MACD. And we are finding that momentum is pretty high, elevated, with plenty of room on the RSI for it to go up. So today is a day of watching to see what happens with a slightly positive bias as we start off. Nasdaq is settled above this diagonal line of resistance, which is now going to be a line of support, but this support has not yet been confirmed. This support will be confirmed if we close about 26,016.75 today. If we do that, then we are setting up the base to reach our earlier established target of 26,700 for the Nasdaq futures. Market sentiment is bullish. Everything is going good out here. Dollar index is down 0.10%, and VIX is elevated at 0.32%. Not much, but it's still slightly up. Now let's look at gold. Gold has created a bear flag out here and it has come down here. So if we were to take the length of this bear flag and put it to the breakout point, then we are looking at a target of around 3834.616. So I suspect that gold would go down further, and it has got a support, at least couple of support before it reaches this level. So there is a possibility of a bounce back, but the first support is going to be 3887.61, and the next support is going to be this diagonal channel, parallel channel, which has got the upper channel at 3872.593, immediately followed by support at 3865.360. So today, even if gold falls, there's a lot of support to it, and I would be very surprised if it falls below 3861.743 today. You can see that the market, the MACD is absolutely bearish, momentum is below average, and market sentiment is dropping. But this is when I think the dollar cost averaging opportunity begins, in my opinion, and I'm going to be looking at it once we touch somewhere around 3868. I'll start looking at dollar cost averaging, because at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of currency pumping, a lot of currency printing and pumping funds into the economy. That means hard assets will improve in value, hard assets including housing as well as gold. Housing has got a little bit of a problem, because unless people have salaries which can enable them to get the mortgage, they won't be able to buy the housing. So as a hard asset, housing will definitely retain value, but not as much as gold, because gold can be purchased for smaller amounts, and organically a whole lot of people end up buying gold, and that helps gold to retain the value. So I have done a video earlier about this, you can check it out. And now let's go on to the next one, which is the indicators, and let's look at what the indicators are telling us. S&P 500 is trying to open above 6876.92, and if it did, then it will convert this diagonal line of resistance into a support, and it will start moving towards our target of 6913.32. Market sentiment, which was bearish, is almost close to neutral. MACD is very bullish, momentum is surging, and we have plenty of room on the RSI. So all systems go for S&P 500. Nasdaq also is looking pretty good. It has already almost met our target of 25,885. Today it's at 25,821.54. So I'm thinking that our earlier target is going to be met. And now we have a whole lot of gap up. This is irregular price movement, which is not a good thing. So we have to watch out here and see what kind of pattern develops further ahead. Otherwise, these irregular gap ups are going to pull us down again. So today we are going to mark this diagonal line of resistance as a line of support, and for us to confirm this, we have to close above 25,842.27. So that's what I have for Nasdaq. QQQ shows that we are going to be opening 0.15% up. So are we going to confirm this diagonal line of support? And if we do, we would do that by closing above 628.74. And we also now are looking at the possibility of reaching our target of 635.46. It has now become possible. Next, let's go and have a look at our AI stocks. And NVDA is back up again. It's up 0.52%. The biggest test for NVDA is to take out 195.54. If we do that, then we are in a good situation. Right now we have a little bit of a gap up out here, and we still have support. I think our support is going to be at 187.47 or around 188.38. These are the suspected supports that I can see for us today, and the resistance for us is likely to be 193.55. Next we look at Meta, which is up 0.28%, and we have this diagonal line of resistance. I'm just going to pull it out, and this diagonal line of resistance is going to give us resistance today at 768.54. And let's look at Google. Google is up 0.40%, and most of these Mag 7 stocks, they have a bearish market sentiment, but individually they have better MACD, which has become bullish already, and momentum is also looking pretty good. And for Google, I'm still thinking Google is likely to go and meet its target of 273.48, and it's one of the better Mag 7s in my opinion. Amazon is up 0.80% in pre-market trades. Market sentiment is starting to mend and go towards neutral, especially with this layoffs and all. The bottom line is going to improve. But I come back to my question, if Amazon keeps on laying off people and gets more and more automated, who are the clients who are going to buy from Amazon? Because what Amazon does is what other companies like Walmart and others would do in order to compete. And if they also lay off people, there's going to be a whole lot of unemployed people with no money to buy the stuff that these guys are selling. So this is like a self-defeating purpose. There has to be either industry-wide responsibility to redistribute income, or there should be government responsibility. The primary responsibility is on the government, but I don't see anything happening in that front. So I'm thinking that we as retail investors will have to be absolutely careful of when to sell off these shares, because they could drop like a stone when we find out that their sales has dropped because there is no purchasing power. That could also lead us to a recession. And if our BLS gives us accurate and reliable data, we'll catch the recession when we start feeling it. Otherwise, we'll catch the recession after we have already felt it really bad. Next, let's go on to Apple. Apple is down 0.08%. It will continue to get support today at 262.77. Market sentiment is bullish. MACD is bullish. Momentum is also pretty good. Plenty of room on the RSI for it to go up. We are looking at earnings on the 30th of October. That is probably giving a little bit of jitters. So consolidation could be in order out here. Microsoft is up 0.19% in pre-market trading. We have earnings on 29th after hours, and we have this doji candle which indicates indecision, which happened yesterday. Probably today also we could form a doji candles. We are elevated a little bit up 1.07% in pre-market trades. So let us see what the earnings has in store for us. And let's look at Tesla. Tesla is up 0.87% in pre-market trades. Tesla shorts are suffering big time, including me. We have support at around 421.12. Immediate support for practical purposes is at 440.91, and our resistance is going to be 470.64. Oracle is down 0.04% in pre-market trades. As I mentioned before, we are following this diagonal line of support. So for today, our support is going to be at 271.32, but that doesn't mean that Oracle is going to fall that much today. Market sentiment is bearish, MACD is bearish, momentum is also a little bit weak. AMD is down 0.32% in pre-market trades. AMD is still looking very strong to me. Momentum, market sentiment, and MACD, all of them are looking excellent. We have earnings on 4th of November, and we have SMCI, which is up 0.06%. This diagonal line of support could probably become a confirmed line of support today. If we close above, I think we are looking at 51.60. So if we close above 51.60, this diagonal line of support is confirmed. It could also set up the foundation for some bullish moves going forward. Broadcom is down 0.02% in pre-market trades. Diagonal line of support continues to be at providing support at around 353.08. With every passing day, this line is going to keep on going down. It's a dynamic line of support. It's the upper bound of a bullish pennant. So we'll see if we can confirm this as a support and look at further trends, further patterns in order to decide which direction it is going. Palantir is up 0.70%. It made a big foray upwards, breaking out above this line of resistance of 189.61, which has been incredibly strong. And then it was promptly pushed back. Today it's opening above this support. Are we going to be pushed back down again? That's the question. This looks like a topping tail to me. So we'll watch what happens for Palantir. Let's go on to SMH. It's up 0.08% in pre-market trades. And we have the support of around 355.80 for SMH. Tempus AI is down 0.14%. It will get a support at 90.35 out here. And then I'm looking at Celsius holding just because I'm curious if all those multiple cup and handle patterns are going to lead to something for us. And it is still not giving us any clue. It's still neutral. It's still consolidating. It will get a support at around 60.52. And let's go on to have a look at Genomics. Genomics should bounce back today after a big beating yesterday. But in case of Prime, I'm seeing that it's still marching downwards. It's down 1.36%. It's in a bear channel in my opinion. Intelia is down 0.14%, and it's going to have a resistance at 27.12. And we'll see what happened. Oh my God, it's already fallen yesterday, right? We had a drop of 42.22. I forgot about that. I'm glad I checked it out. So we have this huge gap down out here, and we are falling still. It's down 0.14. Ideally, at this point of time, I would have expected a dead cat bounce, and the dead cat bounce has not yet happened. So I'm a little bit worried about Intelia, but I would expect that there will be a dead cat bounce today before we close, and this negative 0.14 will be repaired. So that's what I'm thinking for Intelia. Caribou Biosciences is down 1.61% in pre-market trades. I am invested in Caribou Biosciences. I have 500 shares. It's down 12%. I bought it based on a bull flag pattern, but things have not panned out. But we have a long-term cup and handle pattern which needs to work out. So I'm still holding on to Caribou Biosciences. I'm looking for some kind of a catalyst. We'll see what happens out there. Beam Therapeutics is down 0.49%. Yesterday was more of a doji candle, a whole lot of indecision. But I'm thinking that we are starting to move downwards because I do not see any bullish pattern out here. So we'll watch for a few more candles that come up, and probably we'll be starting to create a new bear channel. That's what I'm anticipating. Altimmune is flat in pre-market trades. It has been steadily traveling on this diagonal line of support, which is a mildly bullish support. MACD, momentum, everything is in support of gentle movement upwards. So I'll expect a positive close for Altimmune today. Editas is up 0.31%. It's got a very good support at 3.21, and it bounced off from here, and today it's opening up from here. Let us see what patterns it creates out here, and that will determine what will happen going forward. Next, let's look at Illumina, which is up 0.92%. As I mentioned yesterday, we could see a theme of companies which are related to genomics, which do not have any clinical trial component or anything, but more like either a genetic test or equipment. So Illumina, Grail, and PACB will be in those areas. They would tend to be positive. Illumina is up 0.92% this morning. CRISPR Therapeutics is down 0.46%. It's still going to have resistance today at 66.00. That was the resistance yesterday as well, and we came back down. So that's the status for CRISPR. Allogene is up 0.81% in pre-market trades, and we have Grail, which is down 0.14%. But I expect Grail to improve a little bit. But unfortunately, unlike Illumina and PACB, Grail is under the influence of this topping tail. I forgot this topping tail. This topping tail is going to push Grail down further. Next, we look at PACB. PACB is up 2.39%. And I think PACB is going from strength to strength. At this stage, what I want to see from PACB is some patterns, because we have this bull flag out here. The flagpole. Let me pick up the flagpole and move it to the point of breakout. So this was the breakout. So we have a target of 2.18. And as we come closer to the target of 2.18, I would like to see a bullish pennant or a bull flag develop. So I could see a bit of consolidation today before going up further. That would give us the next target. So overall, I'm positive on PACB. ARCG is flat in pre-market trades. Vertex is down 0.24% in pre-market trades. It still has a support at 414.30. And we have Ginkgo Bioworks, which is down 0.67% in pre-market trades. We don't have any discernible pattern out here on which we can base something. The worst pattern that we have here is a bearish pattern, a bear flag, or I would say a bear flag at the most. So I would wait for more candles on Ginkgo Bioworks. We go to Precision, which is down 1.40%. It will still get a lot of support at 3.87. Eli Lilly is still in the regression channel. I'm going to pull the regression channel forward, and the upper bound is going to give resistance at 856.75, and we would get support today at around 815.06. Next, I want to look at Ultragenics, which is up 0.25%. It has already met and exceeded our target of 34.98. It created a bull flag, and that bull flag has bought us out here. So now let us look at what is the actual strength of the bull flag. I'll take this bull flag from here and I'll put it out at the breakout, and I would say we have a target of 36.11, which we are aiming for. So I would like to see bullish pennant or bull flag form out here to continue the movement upwards. RKT for INF, I'm looking at RKT out here, and in case of RKT, it's starting to defy the bearishness and it's coming up. It's up 0.50% today, and if it closes above 18.42, that will be a good sign for me to look forward to more upward movements. And as we approach this gap down is going to act as a magnet to start pulling us upwards. And MACD is already bullish, market sentiment is moving to neutral, and momentum has already picked up. We have earnings coming on 30th October. Can RKT give some positive momentum to us out here? We'll check it out. Next, we have currencies, and in case of currencies, I'm looking at Bitcoin USD. Bitcoin USD is likely to move in tandem with the index, and as we saw earlier with BTC.D, I think we are still not into the altcoin season. So let us continue monitoring Bitcoin to see where it goes. I'm thinking that it's going to try and take out the support today at 115,359, provided the larger index starts moving upwards. And everything depends on the Z-China discussions, and it also depends on the rate declarations and the forward commentary from the Federal Reserve and the European Union. So a lot to happen. There could be a whole lot of volatility out here. So just be careful. Ethereum continues moving downwards. And we also have XRP USD, which is kind of consolidating out here. And I have been looking at this reverse head and shoulder, which is a bullish pattern. So today I would like to draw some kind of target for this, and I'm going to take a very aggressive target out here, put it out here, and I would say that we should look at a target of 3.03 for XRP. And I would like to go back to Ethereum to look at something that I saw there. Ethereum. Now this could look like a double bottom. I'm not sure if I can take this as a double bottom, but if I took this as a double bottom, then no, let me not be too ambitious or optimistic. Let me just leave it there. I'm not feeling a great deal of conviction for Ethereum. So that's all I got, my friends. If you have got any comments or questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm done, and I'm going to go in and do some trading. Yesterday, I did a little bit of trading. As I mentioned, I sold off gold with a lot of profits, and I still have Palantir in my portfolio. I'd like to do a little bit of analysis on my own portfolio and see if I can do any trades or take some profits somewhere. With that, my friends, I'd like to end this video here. And Hot Dog, thanks for all the Asia specific information that you gave me on the Substack. That's very helpful. It seems like this time round, long calls for AMD today. I am Meatball. Okay, let's go and have a look at AMD. Remember, I'm Meatball. Remember that I'm a retail investor. I'm just sharing my thoughts. I'm not a professional technical analyst. My idea is to get other retail investors to crowdsource investment ideas as well as market intelligence. So join us, subscribe, be a part of here. But whenever I give you any targets or anything, remember it's my personal opinion, not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence as well. So now, if I was to look at AMD, let me look at various contexts. Right now, I don't have any indications from here what is going to happen because I don't see any chart patterns out here. So I would go into a 1 week pattern and see if I can find out anything at all. So in a 1 week pattern, we can see a kind of, I would like to draw a head and shoulder pattern. And if we assume that this is the neckline for the head and shoulder, then we draw a target from here and put it out here, the breakout point. So we have a potential target of 282.05 or at least $281 for AMD in my opinion. Okay, so that target may or may not happen because technical analysis gives you probability. So there is a high probability that we could reach 281.70. But let us say tomorrow we get a news flash that Trump didn't like something that happened in China or he didn't like something that Xi Jinping said, and he says that I'm not going to go for a meeting, like he did a 10% on Canada. If he does something which is a flash of temper or something like that, that target is not going to be able to withstand. 281 might no longer be applicable. Then you can see a sharp drop. If he decides that he's going to put some restrictions on export of GPU or add more restrictions to what is existing, then that could also create a problem out here for AMD. So keep that in mind. I am thinking that the reverse head and shoulder gives us a potential target of somewhere around $281. So assume 280. So if it is 280, we still have a potential to go up from the pre-market level of 258 to around $3 more around there. Let us see how many more dollars. This is 281. So $3 more takes us to 261. So $23 potential is there. I hope this helps you, Meatball. But remember, this is not financial advice. This is just my thought process out here. So is there anything else that anybody else wants to ask about? Then I can put that, I can do the analysis or something and give you information. Okay, so that does it. Then we'll take care of our business and we'll wind up for the day, guys. Bye for now. Unless you have any other questions, I am ready to wind up the session and go ahead and do what I need to do with my portfolio. Okay, have a great day, guys. Bye for now.